What's up, CroatianSports.com nation? Ante here with a better midfield trident than Modric, Brozovic, and Kovacic. I got my boys here. Markus, Lulic, Deschanel, the pride of Montreal, Canada. Welcome back, Markus. The stats guy you just rattled off a fantastic predicted lineup for Italy. How you doing today, 24 hours before the Croatia-Italy kickoff?
I'm doing well. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. We're all feeling a little more hopeful than after the Albania game, I think.
Cool. Well, welcome back, Markus. We're going to go into your lineup shortly. And I got my boy Christian Rasic here, the pride and joy of our Instagram and Twitter account. Christian, welcome back. How are we feeling today, 24 hours before the game?
Feeling pretty good. Going over some lineups, going over some stats, and gotta say I'm pretty hopeful.
I think that's the word. I think we've put that 5-alarm fire behind us from Albania. I think we've leveled off, come back to earth. Let's talk about the future. Let's talk about the Italy. Let's talk about other matches that can happen here. But basically a must-win tomorrow against Italy. Basically, there's a 0.1% chance that we can get in with a draw. We're not going to talk about that quite yet, but let's jump into your lineup, Markus. The thing is, you put this lineup out 48 hours ago, basically right after the Albania game. This is who we have to play starting 11 against Italy. And now all the rumors in Croatia and Europe and Germany, everywhere across the board, it's very similar to what you put out. So I want to share right here and give you a piece of this so you can explain why you want this starting 11 versus Italy on Monday.
Yeah, so pretty much if Dalić lines up with how the sources have been rumoring his lineup will be, I've pretty much hit the nail on the head, other than the Sučić thing, which I also explained is pretty interchangeable. I just thought maybe he would keep Sučić as a CAM since that's his more natural role. But as we know, Sučić has played right wing for the national team, so I guess he'll probably go with that option. He gives some defensive support. And listen, he's not a winger, but he's always been good in that role off the bench. Can he do it when he starts? Hopefully. It's looking like Kramaric is going to be playing left wing still. I don't think Dalić trusts a Piazza and Ivanušić, to start a game like this. But hey, like if the reports are right, we might see Brozovic dropped. I had a dream last night that he was starting, and I woke up sweating. So, anyways, hopefully not. Hopefully we see something like this, something a little bit more offensive. It's looking like on the back line, Guardiola back to left back. He's had 2 not so great games so far this tournament. We haven't really seen him. Before the tournament, we were saying he'd be, he's the best player on Croatia right now. He'd be like our shining star, and the team hasn't been well. So maybe we just need a good Guardiola game to get everybody else to start playing well too.
Yeah.
So listen, he's at left back. He'll provide that offense. It's looking like Erlic Šutalo back to the Nations League duo. Other than that, Budimir up top. He actually, there's a stat I read on Twitter, and Budimir is tied for the most big chances created at the tournament. He's created 3.
Wow.
I think 2 of them resulted in the goal when he was subbed on against Albania. And he's tied with Lamine Yamal and I think another player for most big chances created, which is pretty good. He's creating out there. He's running hard. He's not the fastest, but I think we have to go with him over Petkovic from what we've seen now.
Budimir is always in the mix, and he should have scored that goal against Spain, obviously. But I mean, look, the guy plays in La Liga, and it's either him or Petkovic. Petkovic, I thought had an absolute trash game against Albania. But let's just talk about striker here. Christian, coming into the tournament, you were a Budimir guy. It was kind of 50-50 on Twitter what people wanted. Who you taking up top, number 9 against Italy?
Yeah, so I looked back at the polls on Twitter and they finished literally 50-50. I think they almost racked up like 1,000 votes. So it shows how split down the middle the conversation is. I'm still Team Budimir. I mean, I've said this before and I'll say it again. You see Petkovic come on the pitch in the 60th, 70th minute, and that's where he makes his magic. I mean, even though he starts for Dinamo, he scores a lot of his goals late. A lot of his memorable goals are late. I mean, you look at what he's done for the national team, his goals against Brazil, goals against the Netherlands. They come late in the game when we really need him. We know that Budimir can score. I mean, if you almost net 20 in La Liga, one of the best leagues in the world, that's enough said right there. Playing for Osasuna, he doesn't have that many weapons, so
Yeah.
we shouldn't need too many weapons to get him production or to get him going. But yeah, I'm Team Budimir. If it's not working, then you bring on Petkovic for a little bit of a spark. It's nice because even though they're both big, they both have very different play styles. And I say we attack them with the height, with the grit, and then if that's not working, let Petkovic come on, be a little bit more technical. And yeah, but I'm Team Budimir for the rest of the tournament.
Yeah, yeah, same here. I think you just got to start him. I just don't like. I mean, I know you get into panic mode here if you're Dalić, but moving from our striker to defense. I mean, this is now our third CB pairing in group play. I've never seen that before. If it goes this way, I've never seen this before. I thought if Dalić was going to play Guardiola left back this tournament, it was automatic that it was going to be Erlić and Šutalo. But then he went with Pongracic in that first game. I mean, I like this back line, but I hate that there's so many changes in, within a week of a tournament. So Markus and Christian, I mean, what are you guys thinking? Obviously, we'll be fine with Guardiola if he shows up, but with this CB pairing in the back with Erlić and Šutalo, if Dalić goes that way, is this the best pairing in the back, or do you put Guardiola back there and figure out what you put on the left? Like, is this where we have to go?
I'm not gonna lie. I thought this is how we were gonna start the tournament. I know Erlić hasn't had the best season for club, but I really can't think of a time that he played for the national team and didn't play well. I like Šutalo in the middle. I know he's made a couple mistakes throughout the tournament, but he's shown his talent. He's shown his
Not just a couple of mistakes. I mean, daggers to the heart, huge mistakes. So
yeah, but
where's
we
his
also
mindset? Where's his confidence right now?
yeah, but we also know what he's capable of too. And I don't think that there's a better option than Šutalo. I don't think Dalić, and I'm not saying I feel this way, but I don't think Dalić has any confidence in Sosa at all for some reason. So I think Guardiola's automatically starting on the left, given that Perisic likely won't be a starter next game. But Erlić always performs for the national team, and sometimes you need people like that. I mean, look at Shaqiri for Swiss. He can do whatever he wants at club, but always comes back to the national team and plays well. Erlić is one of those guys that we have, and that's special, especially in big tournaments. Šutalo, whatever, I'm fine with. I don't think we have a better option. I mean, Vida's hurt on Monday anyways, just in case anyone was wondering. And then we got Stanisic on the right. I don't mind that. Juranovic off the bench if we need him, if we need to move to a back three with, a couple really wide wingers getting back. I'm happy with the back four. I think Guardiola should be at left back.
Markus,
Yeah, I think
this is your lineup. This is your lineup, man. This is your lineup. You're obviously happy with this one.
Yeah, I do hope the rumors are true. And just to bring the Brozovic conversation back up for a little bit, for everyone that still has doubts and still is still arguing for Brozovic to start and saying that his contribution is unmatched, like yeah, a couple bad games, but he's still providing. Well, there's actually been some stats posted comparing his Qatar 2022 World Cup to this Euro, and we'll go through three pretty important stats. Three or four pretty important stats for a center defensive midfielder that he's just completely dropped off the face of the earth for. So in Qatar 2022, Brozovic engaged into 17 duels per 90 minutes. So he was averaging 17 duels, and he was pretty successful with most of them per game. So far in Euro 2024, he's only competed in 8 total.
8 total or 8 per game?
8 total. So 4 per game, which is a quarter of his contribution.
He's dropped off 75% with that.
Yeah. There's also interceptions. He averaged 4.5 per game in Qatar. Right now he's had 5 in total. So 2.5 per game. And ball recoveries in Qatar, he was averaging 9.1 per 90 minutes. So far in Germany, he's had 7 total. So 3.5.
So objectively, this is all objective. Objectively, he's completely fallen off the map. I had no idea that he's fallen off that much mathematically.
I mean, we could see it with the eye test, and these numbers just back it up. We know his contribution in the game, and we don't see it. So it's just further proof that backs up our point.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the beauty of Brozovic is, say we do take our dream 1-0, 3-1, 2-1 lead against Italy. You bring him into the game for, say, Pasalic or Sučić,
Yep.
and he just locks it down in between the two center backs. I don't see why that's not an automatic for Dalić at this point.
Yeah,
I think that there's no need to start with him, but there's a very big need to finish with him.
I mean, look, this is the key to the game. If anyone asks me, hey, what do we have to do? It's score first. We don't score first in that game, adios, Charlie. That's it. So how do we score first? I think as long as we come out opening whistle like we did against Albania in the second half, we're gonna be fine. We need to pretend. Dalić has to before Nasha, you guys like, hey, we're down 1-0. We're down 1-0. Go play. And if we play with this lineup, that let me bring it back up. If we play with this lineup, at least we have that extra added attacker that I've been praying for. When I went to the Vatican a couple years ago, I was praying for one extra added attacker, and this is what I wanted. We have to open up a spot. We have to open up a spot up here for one more added attacker and screw the CDM or the number 6 or anyone in the trident. Look, we're never getting rid of Modric as long as he's on the team. I think we can all agree on that. He's a legend. If he wants to play, he's playing. That's why for the past year, and I know everyone's been crushing me on it, I go, we need to drop one of the trident so we can add a Pasalic or an extra winger up here, and this is exactly what we're looking for. And going on to this, now this is this morning, the morning of Sunday the 23rd of June. This is what everyone in Croatia is talking about. Markus, this looks identical to your lineup. They're just swapping Sučić and Pasalic there, basically. But they're interchangeable on the field anyways. Big deal. As far as I'm concerned.
They will be flowing in and out, those two. So
it doesn't matter. But I mean, look, you put out your lineup 2 days ago. This comes out that this is what Dalić is rumored to go with Italy. People can say we don't know what the hell we're talking about, but if he lines this up, the proof's in the pudding, and that's all I got to say to everyone who disagrees with us throughout the year, going, hey, you guys don't know what the hell you're talking about. There you go, proof in the pudding.
So, and I'm looking at projected lineups from the Italian side. They're also projected to make 5 changes as well. 2 of those being with their wingbacks, or one of those being with their wingbacks. We got Darmian coming in for what's his name, Di who usually plays on the left back position.
No, Di Lorenzo.
No, Di Lorenzo is still projected to start. He's had a poor. Yeah, so
okay, sorry, continue.
Following the Spain match, right back Di Lorenzo had a really poor game against the Spaniards, and most Italians were calling for him to be benched in place of Darmian, the right back, natural right back. However, left back Di sorry, is that his name? Yeah, Di
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
He suffered a calf injury. I think pretty serious. Might keep him up for the rest of the tournament. So he won't be playing against Croatia. But unfortunately, Italy had to put Darmian at left back, keep Di Lorenzo in. So that's 2 weak links on the left and right side. And I think given that we're not playing with any true wingers, that's an advantage for us. I mean, less of a lockdown threat. Maybe we could penetrate the sides a little bit more than we normally would with such a centralized lineup with Pasalic and Kramaric as your wingers, Sučić in the middle, Budimir, big guy up top who doesn't really get out wide. Italy's also got Cristante coming in the middle. Hasn't played too much this tournament. Decent player. Cambiaso coming on the right. That's a switch. They're going to push Chiesa to the left, which is a little bit unfortunate for us. I wanted to see Chiesa on the right to battle with Guardiola. I think Guardiola could have his number. Yeah, Cambiaso on the right. Obviously, Barella and Jorginho in the middle. Jorginho, I mean, we all know he's almost like a Brozovic out there. I mean, his coach was yelling at him, if you don't demand the ball, then there's no need to put you on the pitch. And he hasn't been demanding the ball. And then they got, instead of Scamacca, they got Retegui up top, which is an interesting one. I mean, he also hasn't played a lot this tournament. He's a young guy, not a lot of experience. Could be super great, could also be absolutely non-existent. So
yeah, I mean, that switch for them, that's their Budimir Petkovic switch up top.
Yeah.
Like, just to explain it simply. I
mean, look, they without getting into the past games, and this isn't ItalianSports.com, obviously. So that was a really good analysis for us not following the Italian team, but this isn't your Italian team of the 90s. It's not even your 2012s with, Mario Balotelli, and they lost, leadership in Bonucci and Chiellini from 2020. The fact that they're making 5 changes without even having to look at it like eye test, that means they're in a bit of a panic mode too. And that's why I go, whoever scores first in this game is going to go through. Look, Italy knows if they have a shit game against us, they're done. They're done.
They could be in trouble. Yeah.
They're in trouble.
And
They have the 3 points. They probably will get through with the best third place. But I mean, what if Spain flops against Albania and just lets them roll? I mean, there's so many permutations and different options out there, but this isn't a walkover game for Italy. And that's why I say if we can go out and score the first goal, especially in the first half, then we can start playing possession ball. Then we can start recycling it.
But the beauty of this Italian projected lineup for tomorrow is that they have almost identical holes to us, but almost worse and with a lot less experience on the field, which is especially surprising given the fact that they literally won the last Euro. But you've got Pellegrini being taken off, Fratesi being taken off. That's a left mid and a center mid. We have left wing, we have center mid problems. They have Jorginho, like I was saying, the Brozovic, but they don't have a better option, so they're going to keep him in for the next game. Chiesa, interchangeable, doesn't matter which side he's playing on. Good for us. He won't be playing in his natural stated position that he was expected to be going into the tournament. And then without Scamacca up top, I mean, that's the guy that they gave the keys up top to. And now we've got Retegui up top. And we got 2 weak guys down the flank. I mean, I see a lot of holes in this lineup. I see a lot of ways that we can exploit them. I mean, I'd say give it even just a good to great game from us, and I think we should be able to get the job done tomorrow.
I mean, we'll see what happens with the Italians, but did both of you watch the Spain game, Italy-Spain?
Yes.
Yeah.
Spain should have won 5-0 easily. They came out on fire the first half. Donnarumma made some great saves, but I mean, Italy, we looked much better against Spain than the Italians did. That's for sure. That's absolutely for sure. I don't care about the scoreline. Go ahead, Christian.
And not only did we look better to the eye, we looked better on paper as well. Italy finished the match with 43% ball possession against Spain, whereas Croatia finished with 53%. Italy finished with 0.16 expected goals, which is absolutely, it's terrible. You never want to see that from your team. Meanwhile,
what do we have against Spain? We had 2.5.
Yeah, 2.38, which is embarrassing given the fact that we had 0 goals. But still, I mean, it's
that's
pretty
the
much
new boys. That's the new stat line. You guys are all over this XG this tournament.
Yeah, Italy finished the match with 4 total shots. Meanwhile, Croatia finished with 16. And then you look at the momentum chart, pretty much all in Spain's favor. Meanwhile, very up and down between Croatia and Spain. Scoreline doesn't say it all, boys. I don't know how else to put it, but we're definitely the better team against Spain. Italy definitely could have lost that game 6-0.
Yeah. Which one of you, we were just texting before the show, who had the stats on Croatia has the highest XG at this tournament, highest shots against? Who was that?
I sent that, yeah. So I think that's just proof that we're one of the most creative teams in the tournament, but we also are one of the worst defensively because Croatia has the most shots allowed of the entire tournament, but also the highest XG created out of any team. And we only have 2 goals to show for it. Another stat as well is that we've had the most goalkeeper saves against. So shots we've taken that resulted in a save from the opposing goalkeeper. No team has that happened to more often than Croatia in this tournament. And that's my one worry, because we've gone through the Italian lineup and we pointed out some of their weaknesses, some of their key players in certain positions. But I think the main thing we haven't spoken about, Christian, in our Italian lineup here, is their trident, which is their center backs and their goalkeeper. That's their trident, and that's their good trident, because they've got Calafiori there, who's had an excellent season at Bologna, I think. Yeah, at Bologna, he's kind of their up-and-coming Guardiola left center back, good with his feet. He's just got long hair, so everybody likes him. And then they've got Bastoni at right center back, and he's pretty young, but he's a pretty big name. He's been around since he was about 19, 20. Inter star center back, and they've got Donnarumma back there. And you could say what you want about his PSG performances, but for Italy, he turns up, and he really did against Spain. So that's my issue, is that if you look at these stats that Croatia's putting up, so most XG without scoring, most opponent goalie saves against, these are not convincing. And we have to face a pretty solid center back pairing with Budimir up there, and a very solid goalie if we get through that defensive pairing. So my worry isn't about how will Croatia fare in gameplay. I know with this lineup will be even more offensive. There'll be moments in the game that's going to look like that second half with Albania, where we're going to be creating and pressuring and pushing. And I think that on paper, our 11 could have the potential to overpower their 11. I think we are slightly stronger. But my main issue is that the glaring issues we've had this tournament do not line up well with their strengths.
Yeah.
So I could see a possibility where we play like the Spain game or even better, and there's moments in time where we dominate and we can't unlock that goal, because that's been the story of Croatia very recently, is unlocking that opportunity to score a goal. And if we had that much trouble against an Albanian backline, I don't know. That's my only worry.
It's the final third. Look, we have possession. Like, we have good defense to midfield up to the striker core. And who was it? I think it was Chiellini on Fox here in America. He goes, look, Croatia's great with the ball coming out of the back, defense to midfield. Modric, Kovacic, Brozovic get it. And then they don't do anything with it. They just kind of kick the ball around, recycle, like I've been saying. And teams know that they can just kind of put 7 guys behind the ball, and it's not really a threat for them against Croatia. But look, the fact that you're throwing out cold, hard stats right now, that we have the highest XG at this tournament, and we only have 2 goals. You got to score at these tournaments. You're not going to go anywhere with 0-0 games. You're not going to go anywhere with if you're playing for 1-0. Unfortunately, Dalić is playing lineups that he's playing for 1-0 games, possession, like he's playing checkers, and then he's waiting for like a 1-0 game. It's just like the Japan game in Qatar. Brazil was 1-1 at the end of extra time. There's all these 2 tight games. You have to somehow figure out and put out a plan. How do we get 2 goals scored for ourselves? And if they score a goal right away, it's go score goals. And that's why I absolutely love this lineup. I'm bringing it back up right now for you. This is yours, Markus. I mean, man, if Dalić comes out with this lineup tomorrow and Sučić starts in a must-win tournament game, both of you guys have been over Sučić, all over him for 4 years now, saying this is the future. He's in Austria, he's playing for Salzburg. How happy would it be for both of you to see him start tomorrow against Italy?
I mean, I'm sure Markus can agree. We've been Sučic's #1 fan since he was 18 at Salzburg. I mean, the beauty of Sučić is that he doesn't play like a typical Croatian midfielder. He has that more modern, that swaz to him. He knows what he's doing on the ball. He knows he has great vision. He's not afraid to let it rip from outside the box. He has a stunning left foot. I think Sučić starting in this game is a must. I mean, I'm looking at this lineup, and I mean, seeing Sučić right smack dab in the middle just makes me so happy, because he's the X factor that we needed. Brozović out, time for the new. It's Baturina Sučić time, and Sučić is obviously more ready, playing in Austria, playing for Salzburg. I think he's the guy for the occasion, and the beauty of putting Sučić in there is, you kind of get to keep the ball on the ground a little bit more, even up top. Even though he's tall and lanky, he has a great sense of dribbling. He has the ball on a string to his foot. I don't think we're gonna have to send in a ton of crosses against Italy's trident in the back. I think we're gonna be able to play more composed in the final third, knock the ball around the top of the box instead of right in front of the midfield, which is so annoying because it always ends up going back to the center backs.
Yep.
But I think Kovacic and Modric are both gonna line up like seriously neck and neck, right next to each other, right outside the box, just knock it out, knock it around. Sučić will get out wide, get by the penalty spot. I can't complain. I think it's great.
Yeah, Sučić is
your
the
guy.
opposite. Sorry?
Sučić is your guy. I want to hear what you have to say about Sučić. This is, you guys have been waiting 4 years for this. Both of you have been waiting 4 years for. Imagine he starts and rips one from 30 yards out past Donnarumma. Oh,
hey,
chef's kiss.
I'm still giving our second goal credit to him. Hockey goal, right? No own goals.
Yeah, it is. In hockey, that'd be his goal. So
It's
yeah,
obligatory. It's obligatory to have one hockey reference on here. We have to do it. We check that one off right now. Marcus, go on Sučić.
yeah, I think it's great having him in because he's obviously, listen, he's gonna come out and he's gonna give it his all. Like, this is his opportunity to prove himself. If he knows, like, he knows better than anyone else that if he disappoints here, it's open season for him online. It's open season on Dalić. He doesn't want to let the country down. Doesn't want to let his teammates down. He doesn't want to let Dalić down for making the very, very difficult decision. If Dalić has the balls to bench Brozović for this 21-year-old, the pressure's on. And I feel like he thrives under pressure. Like, he's just that type of player. He's got that X factor, that clutch gene. He's one of these guys that just the right moment, he's just gonna smash. And he's done it for Salzburg, scored late minute screamers. Like, I just have a good feeling with him in the middle. We know he's not gonna be back passing like we see Kovacic, Brozovic doing a lot. Even Modric recently. He likes to move that ball forward and he'll bring it up. He may lose it more often than we're used to, but maybe it's time we kind of shift to that type of gameplay where it's just let's go for the goals. And he knows he has Modric and Kovacic to back him up behind him. So I think he's in a comfortable position. He's not playing CDM. It's a bit of a risky position.
Yeah.
Up there, he has the liberty to create, and I don't think he'll be given free reins, but I think he'll be allowed to roam and he'll be given his role. And it's go cook up.
He's got that it factor, and I absolutely believe that he's due for a goal with us. I mean, I don't know if you guys remember Poyul against France, where he had that last second opportunity against the French goal. He barely missed that one. I mean, he missed that one-on-one against Portugal, missed that shot from like 12 yards
He's just
out.
about there. He's just about there. But look, for him, he's publicly said that Modric is his idol.
Yeah.
Imagine the storybook kind of passing of the guard that this could be Modric's last game at Euro, depending on the result. And Sučić gets to start alongside Modric in his last Euro group stage game. There's a little bit of storytelling there. But back to your point, Christian, about the X factor. Who runs on the Croatian offense at anyone? Perisic is the only person that will take people on one-on-one. You know who else can do that? Sučić. He's that guy. We've all played soccer here. We all play pickup. We all play 11 aside, all that good stuff. There's always that one guy that it's usually that Brazilian that's just joga, give me the ball and let's go. We need that guy. We haven't had that guy almost since like a Rakitic and a Perisic in 2018 when they were in their prime. He's this guy. And the reason before the tournament, I would have said, maybe we need one more cycle, a couple more qualifiers. He looked hot. Sučić looked hot against Albania, and you know what? Let him reign. Look, as far I'll get to you right now, Christian. As far as I'm concerned, we're playing with house money. I'm happy. I'm happy with the result against Albania. Imagine if we would have lost. This game is nothing against Italy. Our tournament's already over, so we're playing with house money because Albania could have beat us. So go out there to let Sučić go out there, and please, Bože moj, don't start Brozović this game. We don't need him. Go ahead, Christian.
And what I will say is, even though he has the capabilities to take on anyone at any given time, he also has the veteran composure aspect to him, which is so valuable when playing next to Kovacic and Modric. You know, two guys that play for Real Madrid, they've played for Chelsea, Tottenham, Man City. These guys are used to playing with players who know how to knock the ball around, who know how to stay composed, who know how to stay on the ball, stay on their feet. And I mean, to show that as a 21-year-old with Sučić, I mean, they can't be asking for much more.
I want to add this. You guys are probably still too young. How much do both of you remember about Euro 2012? That last game, Croatia Spain.
Yeah, I remember that we lost 1-0, like around the end of the game they scored.
Lot of referee bullshit in that game. Chorluk got pulled in the box with his shirt. But Modric, I think that game, he didn't get a 10.0 SOFA score rating that game, but he was perfect against Spain. Absolutely perfect. And guess what? Guess when he got picked up by Real Madrid a month later. I think going back to Sučić, the whole world's going to be watching this Croatia-Italy game. Two sexy countries, reigning Euro champions, back-to-back World Cup semifinalist. If I'm Sučić, and you get to start, eyes are on you. This is where you start. This is where the big clubs start watching. Go, who the hell is this kid? What did he do against Italy? What did he do against Donnarumma, who saves everything? So if he gets a start, I think we're in good shape.
To add to that point, his contract ran out at Salzburg. He's expected to leave.
And he's got eyes from
Pretty much
Liverpool, Dortmund. I mean, he could go anywhere with a good game
I'd
against
like to
Italy.
see him at Dortmund. I would really like to see him at Dortmund.
That's hey, we do good with our players that move from Austria to the Bundesliga. It's a nice transition. I always
Yep.
worry about our guys going straight to the Premiership. I like our guys in Serie A and the Liga and the Bundesliga. It's less physically demanding. So I would love that. But let me ask both of you this. I mean, let me flip the script for you a little bit. What if Sučić rides the bench tomorrow off to get go and you do see Brozović?
I'm a little less hopeful for a goal because I think if Brozovic starts, it's like has scream 0-0 written all over it, like, which is not what we need.
And then I think Dalić is putting his faith into like a situation in which we score off a mediocre chance. You know, he's looking just to get by instead of to seriously create and, you know, shoot over your weight. He's looking for a game where we score a goal even though our XG is 2, or 2 goals when our XG is 4, instead of, you know, a game where we have finishers on the pitch, you know, that one extra guy in the box where we score 2 goals but our XG is 1.3, and that's something that good teams can do, is, you know, shoot over their weight.
Yep. I mean, we'll see. It's a must-win game. I've been praying for this extra added attack, that one attacker to get across the trident. You guys know where I stand on the trident. The days of the trident are over, and I think this is the game that puts us over. We'll see. I mean, we're going to talk about the result after the game. I just want to talk about the lineups and talking about the future of Modric and Dalić and everyone. But one last thing, that my elephant in the room, and it's not defense, it's not Dalić versus Šutalo, it's not Gvardiol on the left, it's not Sučić or Broz. My elephant in the room is Kramaric on the left. We didn't talk about Kramaric today. He doesn't look comfortable for me on the left. He's not a pure winger. Maybe that's why Dalić does play Gvardiol on the left to kind of give extra added attack on the left. But you know, I think Dalić has to consider benching Kramaric. I said this before the tournament to you, Markus, in our one-on-one. I go, look, the guy had over 15 goals in the Bundesliga and everything. Do you bench that guy? And we both went, nah, you can't. Well, now you can, because he's had 2 bad games in a row. I know he scored the goal against
And he
Albania.
won man of the match somehow.
Yeah, but there was no man of the match in that game, really. You know what I mean? Yeah, he scored against Albania. I get it, but I'm talking about over 180 minutes, and, you know, outside of being subbed off, I'm not impressed with him. He's not a natural winger. Do you want to go in with that in a must-win game against Italy?
It's just, at the end of the day, he did score, and he has scored some pretty important goals. And I think playing this more centralized lineup, maybe he'll be able to slot into the middle a little bit more and get his foot on the ball inside the box. I think just given his history for the national team, he has to be on the pitch when we need goals, because he scores. I mean, he really does.
I think his contribution, whether it's invisible or not, if he can just get that one moment like against Albania where he scores, I'll take it. Because what's the alternative? You know, like Dalić is not going to start Piazza, and I feel like if he did, Piazza's the type of guy, he's going to look good all game, but he may not score. Kramaric might be invisible all game, but you can bank on him scoring pretty much once every 3 games. Why don't you
start Pedicic on the left wing then if he's healthy? Huh?
I don't know. There must be something we don't know. There must be something. Maybe Perisic left back, he doesn't have quite as much work to do, so they're willing to start him there.
Not left back.
Wing, maybe he doesn't feel comfortable. I don't know.
Perisic starting would be the biggest surprise to me, because I haven't seen any media coverage supporting the idea that Perisic.
It's looking like he will not.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm good with him getting 45. Sub month for Kramaric if Kramaric isn't doing much.
Yeah, but this is my point. If you're putting Perisic in the game in the second half, it means we're probably down a goal anyways, and it's too late. That's my point.
Or we're tied and we need a goal.
That's different. That's a different story. But guess what? The way the first halves have been going this tournament doesn't look. It's not fantastic. We're down 4-0 on aggregate this tournament at halftime. That's not a winning formula. That's not a winning formula, and that's why I say first goal goes through against Croatia, Italy. First goal goes through. There's this old saying in Europe, and it goes, the hardest thing to do in life is to play Italy when they only need a draw, because historically they can bunker down and, you know, they have low scoring games. So if they go up 1-0 and we need 2, the way we're playing, that's a tough task. And you know what? Imagine we score a goal early inside of 60 minutes and the Italians have to open up and we can hit them on the counter. Now we're talking. Now we're talking.
Yeah.
That's when you can bring in a Broz. That's when you can bring in subs off the bench. What are you guys thinking? What do you guys think? What's the result at halftime against Italy?
I'm going 0-0 at
Me too.
halftime.
God, you
Me
guys
too.
are so boring. So boring. First goal wins. All right.
Yeah, I was a little too not boring last time with my 4-1 victory.
I mean, I thought the Albania game was going to be a bounce back game like we had against Canada in the World Cup, or it's like let's go. And they scored early, just like Davies scored early. And you know what, Albania bunker. These teams know our plan that we're going to recycle. They know what our plan is. So I think the fact that we're going to throw in some nitro, some gasoline, if Sučić starts, that's going to be a game changer. These guys don't know what Sučić is. They might see a highlight reel. They're going to say, oh, he runs at you. But I think this is where he's going to transition. If he gets to start from boy to man, you know, Gvardiol had his boy to man. I think Gvardiol went boy to man for us against Belgium. That's when we went,
Yeah.
holy
100%.
shit, this is a dude. You have to have your boy to man game. And if Sučić gets a start and rips one from 24 yards out, hey, the confetti's coming out. The CroatianSports.com confetti's coming out. I haven't used it yet this tournament. I can't use it.
And yeah. Back to Guardiola. Face mask Guardiola is the best individual player that Croatia will ever have. You know,
Yeah,
break
give
his
him back
mask.
the mask. Make him wear it again. Why not? Might work.
Why not?
You know
And
what?
I mean, hey,
You know what? Put a mask on Meyer. Put a mask on Gvardiol. Put one on Modric and Livakovic. I don't care if we could be freaking a bunch of Zorros out there. They all play better than the mask.
and then just
That's
one more
true.
point. One more point before we wrap it up. I mean, given that our identity isn't really fully functioning right now, if we can find a way to escape it, create a new identity, I mean, we'll be golden. And this is Dalic's chance to. You know, he is Sučić, 21 years old, the world in his hands. This is the opportunity. Just send him up front. Let's see what happens.
Look, the Gretzkys, the Connor McDavids. We got Game 7 coming up this week. Those guys step up when you're young. You know, the Kobe Bryants, all those guys, and then you have your Alen Haliloviches that you know they're like, oh, you're the next big thing, and you don't deliver. So you have to have your moment. Gvardiol had his moment at the last World Cup, and you know who's going to step up for us. You can't just rely on Modric, saying Modric is going to cover you. I was having these texting conversations with you guys and with a couple other Croatian buddies, and like, oh, Modric isn't helping us, this and that. You know, he plays better for Real Madrid, and I'm like, do you guys even watch this sport? Do you know who he has around him at Real Madrid? You have Rodrigo, Bellingham, you have Vinny, who probably might win the Ballon d'Or around him, and you're like, oh, you want Modric to do the same thing with this Croatia squad? Are you guys kidding me? Like, am I being crazy right now? Like, he has weapons galore at Real Madrid, and he doesn't have to do as much, and he has to double his workload for Croatia with less people around him. So it's like he needs to facilitate. He needs to be that older Andrea Pirlo that Italy had in 2012. And you have to give him options, and Sučić is that option, and he had a hot Albania game. I'm gonna ask both of you guys this, and then we'll wrap it up. If Sučić starts, does he do something big against Italy? Markus?
Yeah, I think so. I'm gonna temper my expectations here. I'll say he gets a nice assist and he drives the game forward. I think just his presence as an attacking midfielder on the pitch will be enough of a difference to be able to see that edge. I'll give him a nice assist.
Yeah, I mean, I
Christian.
Sam, you know, I think he's gonna do well. I think he's good every single time he's on the pitch. So why not this time too?
I want to rip it. He's our next Rakitic. Remember Rakitic would lay up a ball from 24, 25, 26 yards out, and you have to defend that shot because sometimes those goals go in. Sučić has that capability. I remember he had a barely deflected goal in a friendly against Barcelona 2 summers ago, I believe. It was like from
Exactly
35 yards out. What's that, Markus?
Yeah, it's exactly the one I was thinking of.
Yeah, he's not scared to shoot. Guess what? These teams know that we don't have a shooter, so they let you come in the box. It's like the dude in basketball that's 20% from downtown. They're like, shoot the ball. You're gonna miss it. Go ahead. You're not gonna come down. No, same thing. And I like this lineup because we've been playing, back to the basketball reference, with 3 point guards in the middle, and that's it. You can't play basketball with 3 point guards. You just
Well,
can't.
You need a slasher. You need a small forward that can get things done. And Sučić, middle of the pack in terms of height. He can create good physical dominance, and he's a great ball or a great foot on the ball. So why not him?
Yep. All right. Let's see what Dalić does. If Dalić does what Markus thinks he's gonna do and what Croatian media thinks he's gonna do, I think we're in for a treat, and all eyes on Sučić. We'll see what happens. All right. Before we get out of here, Christian, prediction: Croatia, Italy, Monday.
Out of all the things to think about these past couple of days, I haven't really thought of a final score, but I'm gonna go 1-0. I'm gonna go. You know what? I'm gonna go Luka Sučić, 65th minute goal to win it all. Come on.
I would love that. Last two predictions, I think I was a bit too optimistic. They both went the wrong way. Maybe I've been jinxing it. That's just kind of how I think. So I'm gonna go with a 1-1 draw.
Ouch.
That would hurt. That would really hurt.
I really hope I'm wrong, but I have to go. I feel like I have to go against the grain to give us a better chance here. 1-1.
Yeah, and given your scenario with the draw, I mean, all Croatian fans should be hoping that Scotland and Hungary tied today. That automatically leaves us with one group that we're ahead of. If we tie tomorrow and Albania loses to Spain, we're also going to have to look for the Czech Republic to beat who they're playing Georgia
to lose.
They've rebranded.
To lose, yes. Sorry, we're gonna need Turkey to beat Czechia, and then we're gonna need Portugal to beat Georgia. I mean, two somewhat likely results. So I mean, those go our way, and then we get through the draw.
Let's not talk about going on in third place with 2 draws, please. It hurts my soul, guys. Would we be the first team ever in the history of a tournament to go through with 2 draws?
I'm not sure.
I don't know. I mean, given that the third place scenario isn't relatively old, I mean,
there's only 2 tournaments to pull that from, and I don't think so. But I'll try and find it.
Usually it's 4-4-4 and then like 3-3-3 or 4-4-4-4.
A couple threes with good goal differential. But look, here we go. I'm going optimistic. I've relaxed since that Albania draw. Croatia wins 2-0. We scored late in the first half. And then with Donnarumma pulled up in the 95th minute off a corner kick, we dribble the ball into net, celebrate, and we go into the second round of 16, 2-0 Croatia. But take that under in Vegas. The only thing I'm sad about is we're not going to wear the blues this tournament, which sucks because these are clean. These are clean. Yeah, we're wearing those awful picnic tables. It's awful.
But however, if we manage to come away with a victory tomorrow, it's looking very likely that we play the Swiss in the round of 16, and then the winner of England and Austria if we win that game. So that's a golden opportunity to wear the blues right there.
Getting a little ahead of ourselves here.
Hey, you want to wear the blues? I'm giving you a scenario in which we can wear the blues.
That's true.
We'll line up with.
Listen, hey, we played Albania's red, Spain's red, and we wore the whites and reds. So.
Yeah, I don't know what that was about. I really don't know what that was about.
And guys, while you guys were speaking on that subject, I checked the last 2 Euros quickly. No team has ever advanced to 2 points.
Why not us? Why not us?
Beat these guys. Look, history's on our side. Italy has never beat us in a competitive match ever. Knock on wood. Knocking on wood. And you know what? We show up against these big squads in these tournament games. I think that's kind of the Croatian fire that backs against the wall. But we have to put a plan on paper to score first. It's going to be incredibly difficult to beat these guys if they score first. It's gonna be tough. They're gonna bunker the shit out of their formation.
And we beat Italy. I think it's safe to say we stick with whatever starting formation we're using tomorrow, and then everyone forgets about Spain, and we're good.
The nice thing is the win tomorrow against the Italians wipes everything away that we saw against Spain and Albania. And guess what? It's unfair in world football, but you're only as good as your last game. And it's qualify, green check mark, get out of group stage, green check mark, and then it's a whole tournament. Look, but we have a streak on the line. We're one of 6 European teams that have made the knockout rounds of every tournament since 2016. That's pretty impressive for us. Outside of the medals, that's pretty impressive. Italy hasn't done it. Germany hasn't done it. The Dutch haven't done it. Good old Lukaku and Belgium haven't done it. So let's see what happens. And this is why I like Sučić. I'm a sales guy. ABC guys. Always be closing. Always be closing when you're on the pitch. And I think Sučić, please God, start Sučić tomorrow. But we'll see what happens. We'll see. For Croatian sports, we got Christian Rasic, Markus, Lulic, Deschanel, the Pride of Montreal, Canada. And all right, let's see what happens. I think 2-0 Croatia. 2-0 Croatia. Markus is going with the draw. Shame on you. Shame on you. All right, boys.
Come on. Come on, man.
The Croatian Sports Trident. See you guys after the Italy game. We hope we get our result. We hope we get it to the round of 16. Gonna be a good game. Gonna be a good game. All right, see you, everybody.